The first video is about unleashing the magic of parallelism in ATE, and the presenter is Dhamodharan from Calibre Interconnect Solutions PVT Limited.
I appreciate all for joining us here today. Thanks to TestConX for providing us the opportunity to share more about the power of parallelism in ATE. This poster has been authored by Calibre team led by Senthil, Mohan and Prabhakar. This is how the presentation landscape looks like. We shall go in detail. When it comes to test engineering, one of the key challenges we all face is running the inevitable race against time. We all know that the testing complex SOCs typically consumes more time as each of its IPs and the corresponding blocks warrant sequential testing one at a time. In testing environment, time means money. So conventional approach may not be a viable option. Concurrency may be the best alternative. A way of running multiple independent tests as a single concurrent test without compromising the integrity of each test structure can help solving the conundrum of time versus cost. We shall see a particular case where we have implemented the concurrency on SOC using concurrent control framework on Advantage 93K. Though most of the ATEs have been bestowed with the capacity for concurrency, why it is not widely being used? Because implementing concurrent framework on these ATEs are not as straightforward as it seems. Let's see graphically how the execution of the test in sequential mode differs from the CCF mode. In SOC, we implore the design team to partition RTL and PD in such a way that each blocks of the chip functionality would work independently from other blocks to usher in the concurrency. With the help of core wrapper architecture, independent blocks and its registers are completely isolated in its access, control and output such that the concurrency is attained. In this concurrency method, each pin has been assigned as multi-port setup that grants the access to separate resources in the tester. Since it's mandatory on individual blocks, frequency and timing requirement, we worked with design team on block POR specification and planned the execution accordingly. Designing a load board for parallel testing have some bottlenecks based on the allocation of the power supply for each blocks. So that prerequisite for the power supply assignment is quite challenging. A major problem of mixing analog and digital designs is noise coupling between the different domains. The noise generated in the digital sections of the circuit is coupled into the analog circuits through the power supply and over the substrate. Thermal effect includes the changes induced in the composite system due to the exposure of the temperature variations. So we have taken care all these issues through Calibre's signal and power integrity team. Optimize the clock distribution to the cores having different clock control of each IP block. Our internal DFT team also helped us to speed up the slow clocks in the analog side of the chip and reduce the long wait cycles. Then the usual setup aspects in terms of pin config and the test flow for each IP, including looping and multi-binning thumb rule to be considered as well. Now let's compare the test time for both serial and CCF mode. You can clearly see how much time saving have been achieved by the CCF method, hovering around 50%. Some more data crunching here. Based on the parametric, test results for both the serial and CCF method are being correlated here. The CPK value for both the methods is greater than 1.3 as per the standard. Here we have mentioned the total test time taken for both serial and CCF mode on sample SOC chip. We are saving approximately 1.29 seconds from the actual test time. To understand the import of this number and also what it means for our end customer, let's consider this scenario. Testing for 100 million parts with extra multi-site setup and 5 cents per second as test cost. This CCF implementation will save approximately 200k USD. We are here at end of our presentation. Now that we have seen how parallelism works, and what to consider prerequisite to implementation. We are exploring various avenues to extend the CCF methodology, especially in the multi-site setup, which may bring about its own challenges that we are sure will be of great learning experience for our team, and maybe we could share our experience next time when we meet again. Thanks TestConX for providing the opportunity and for this wonderful audience. Thank you so much.
So is this approach used at all so far or not yet?
It is used. It is used, but not widely used. So there are certain products this CCF is already running.
And can it apply only to specific devices, or can you say a little bit about the use case?
The concept is very generic, and it is not specific to any particular product. But the thing is, as mentioned in the paper, there should be a clear line between two IPs running in parallel. So there should not be any dependency between IPs to have them running parallelly or concurrently, right? So that like the resource we are sourcing for different IPs are not linked between each other.
Okay, thank you.
In conclusion, I'd like to very much appreciate our sponsors who've made this event possible and allowed us to do this without registration charge. Our premier sponsor is Kohu. Our emeritus sponsor is JonsTech. Our honored sponsors are ISC, iWin, and TSC. Our distinguished sponsors are Backer Hotwatt, Innovative Circuit Engineering, JMT, Nidec SVTCL, R&D Altanova, and UI Green. Our exhibitors sponsors are ELES, MJC, Phoenix Test Arrays, and Smith's Interconnect. So thank them once again, and when you have an opportunity, please thank them. An extra special thank you to Kohu, our premier sponsor, the market leader in test interface solutions for the most challenging applications. Our honored sponsor, ISC, global #1 total test solution provider. And iWin, the test probes provider for high signal integrity at extremely high speed test. And once again, I would thank all of you for attending and participating in this week. Look forward to seeing you all online the week of October 25th for TestConnect China, and then March 3rd through 9, 2022 for our in-person event in Mesa, Arizona. So I wish everybody a good rest of your day. Thank you for your participation.